Dude, are you excited?
Literally. I am super excited. Well, I guess there's gonna be a lot of bloopers. I told Mike, I was like, you know what? No worries. This is gonna get edited out. And now here we are.
Well, yeah, it's
Dude, are you
both of us on
I
there.
am super excited. Well, I guess there's gonna be a lot of bloopers. I told Mike, I was like,
all right, cool. And then I'm streaming it on Instagram.
yes, do it. Oh my gosh. I wish I had my phone too. I could like literally do the same. Let me grab my phone, okay?
Yeah, go.
Okay, let me grab my phone.
So we are doing this. Welcome everybody. Live. Checking connections. Here we go. We are doing this. We are recording. We're live. Hey, how are you, Instagram world? So you can't see what's happening right now, but I want to just let you know that if you want to see my partner, it's being recorded or it's being shown double dose on what's this on YouTube. So you can go to the MTC Life website on YouTube, and then you'll be able to see me and Maria, which we're gonna get going like right now. All right, girl, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do
Oh,
this.
no. Yeah, go. You still have to do. Welcome. Look at all these people on Instagram. Hey, welcome. It's the first ever podcast with none other than the great and powerful Maria.
I just realized that Mike's name is on here too, so let me. Oh, whatever. Maria Bunch.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Listen, this is, I am so excited to be here right now, not just by myself, but I'm also excited to actually have this wonderful person that I'm hoping she joins the partnership, like the vision. And I was thinking about what to call this podcast, and I was thinking about the VS group. Now, hang on.
Okay, do tell. What do you mean by that?
Ready? VS group, from vision to success. Start to finish.
There you go. I like that.
I like that's what it is. So this is the VS Group podcast, and I want to welcome you guys. Listen, my name is Coach Martinez, Miguel Martinez, and most of you, if you are logging in from either my MTC Life or the Instagram, you know exactly who I am, but you may not know who this person is. And so Maria and I'm gonna give an opportunity for Maria to introduce herself, but we go way back. Our families are really close. We go on group dates all the time. But Maria she is so infectious. She is just, her laughter, her motivation, her encouragement, her vision as to what she wants to do with life and what she wants to do with other people. She is like the bomb, diggitybomb.com. And so we kept talking about creating this group, this podcast together. And then it's just our schedules weren't aligning. I was going crazy. She was busy with her clients and stuff. And so, but you know what? Yesterday 2 days ago, I was like, whatever you can do tomorrow, do today. Whatever you can do today, you can do now. So I just called her up and be like, we're doing this on Thursday. So I'm so excited to have for Maria to join. This is going to be a weekly thing. So Maria, do your intro, dude. What's up?
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for those kind words. I literally felt a tear welling in my eye. Okay, so a little bit about me. My name is Maria. I went from a person that was uber shy, uber like self-absorbed and always in my thoughts, to a person who is now more comfortable in my own skin, who likes to laugh, who likes to hug, who likes to cry. I will literally cry in public at a drop of a hat if if someone says something that touches me, or if I'm sad, like anything, because I believe my tears can be empowering for myself. And for others, there's such a good thing about feeling and vulnerability. And I feel like in my last 6 years of being in this journey of self-acceptance and self-love, or motivating myself and others, I really have been able to find that vulnerability is truly a superpower. So I feel like that's where I'm at. Aside from that, I am married. I have been married for 12 years. I have 4 kids. My kids are 2 years apart, and they are from 4 to 10 years old. And I am living that good life because my kids are in school right now. So that is a good life.
So this is her. For those who are joining me on Instagram right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Maria. So again, for those who are joining me on Instagram, if you want to go to and see the podcast for both of us, you're more than welcome to join in on the YouTube channel, which is MTC Life, when we are live there. So today, Maria, listen. So when I contacted Maria and I said, let's do this Thursday. What do you want to talk about? I gave her pretty much the open floor. And then right away, she said mindset. And funny that she said that, because I was just listening to a book about mindset and so all these different things. And so I titled the today's session Mindset, Myth or Real. Yeah, I know, right? I'm all about the titles. So I want to ask you, okay, first of all, why did you choose, out of all the topics that we could possibly do, you decided to talk about mindset, podcast one? Why?
You know what? I truly believe that that is the foundation of everything. I feel like our marriages can be on top of our mindset. I feel like our careers, our fitness, wellness journeys, our parenting, everything revolves around the mindset. And I feel like back in the day when I was struggling with myself, mindset was a really hard thing for me to overcome. I thought that my thoughts were my thoughts, my feelings were my feelings, and I couldn't change. And having had those thought processes kept me where I was, as opposed to now, 6 years later, I'm looking back at myself and realize that had my mindset changed in different aspects of my life, perhaps I'd be a little further along. Perhaps I would feel happier. Perhaps back then I would have been happier, because I realized that what we focus in is what we grow, right? And what does that come down to? Our thoughts. And funny thing, because when I think about thoughts, before I was overwhelmed by thoughts. I thought that if you thought something, it meant that it was true. It meant that somehow that was going to become real, and it was you doing it to you, kind of thing, right? Like we were powerless against it. As opposed to now, I'm like, if I have that thought, it doesn't mean that that is true. I get to control my thoughts. So if I don't like what I'm thinking, I get to change it. And if I get to change it, and I get to feel differently, and I get to do different things. So now, especially being with COVID, one of my biggest motivations is to help others to see that other side of the coin, to help others feel like, you know what, that negative thought that I have is not a true thought. I am empowered. I have the power to change that thought. I will not be a victim to my thoughts. I can change that. So I think that is the reason why I chose mindset.
So here's the question. And so mindset, I don't want to say it's a new word, but I think it's been commercialized more over the last 5-10 years. So what is mindset for those who might be watching that and it's one of those things that we hear these words all the time. We hear resiliency. Okay, define resiliency. We hear mental health, and people, oh yeah, we need to have good mental health, but they don't know the difference between mental health and mental illness. And so there's all these big words that they should resonate with us, and we think we know the meaning, but and maybe in fear of voicing it, what does it mean? We don't say anything. So for those who are out there that are watching and they may not know what mindset is, Maria, would you like to explain what mindset pretty much is?
I'll take a stab at it. This is what my interpretation of mindset is, right? Okay, mindset boils down to your thoughts and what you believe you can and cannot do. So if you believe you can do something, then you're more likely to make choices that will bring that thing that you want to come to you. If you believe that you cannot do something, then you're more likely to avoid any situation that presents to yourself where you feel like you cannot do it. So mindset at the end is your thoughts, is your state of mind, and what you believe you can and cannot do.
All right. And so why is it so difficult for people to be able to control their thoughts and their mind, like in their minds and the way that they feel? Like, why is that? Why? I mean, I get schools all the time calling me and asking me, oh, can you come in and talk about, mindset and reallocating or realigning, and back to spirituality. Why is it so hard? Do you think that it's for us to be able to control those thoughts? I have an idea, but I want to let you voice your opinion first.
Okay, and then we'll trade, and then we'll tag team it. You'll do that.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Bring it home.
Bring it home. I'll correct you whatever you say wrong. I'm joking.
You have a button and say, ah.
Just don't start crying, because then it just
I might cry. You know
no,
what? You know I might cry.
I know you will. I know, but this is the thing: is if you cry, it makes anything you say more powerful. So I'm like, whatever, what she said. So just yeah, come on, give me some credibility.
Okay, so the question was, why is it so hard? Right? Like,
Yeah, why
why
is
do
it
we
so,
struggle as people?
yeah. Why is it so hard for us to control our thoughts and tell ourselves that we're strong or we're powerful?
Okay, so I have a theory, and this is the way that I explain it to my kids when we talk about mindset. And I believe that it comes from our human nature. So I believe it's intrinsic. I believe that we're actually born with it. The other aspect of it is I believe that we're born with it is because it gives us an opportunity to progress, right? Can you imagine if all of a sudden, like if all the time you had positive thoughts, you were like, yes, I can do this. Yes, yes, yes. You wouldn't have the other side of the coin, which is the negative aspect. Everything would be easy. So nothing would be fulfilling, right? As opposed to being intrinsic. And I actually believe it's a blessing because anything that we have that's negative in our lives can be a blessing for us. It can teach us a lesson and it can teach us to do things differently. So I believe that having the opportunity to grow our mindset, it means progression throughout our life. It means that we are never done. It means that we'll continue to grow until the age that we're 99 or however long we live in this world. And I believe that it's powerful because it allows to see a change within us. Sometimes not right away, it's not something that you can see from today to tomorrow, but it's something when you reflect back and you look at yourself and how you were perhaps a year ago, you're like, dang, I have changed. Maybe the situation would have crumbled me in the past, but now it doesn't. Now I have the coping mechanisms. Now I have the mindset to know that, you know what, I got through that pretty crappy situation before. So that means that this situation, however crappy it is, I can get through it. So that in my mind, I believe that that is the reason why we struggle with mindset. Now, having said that, I also believe that the reason why some of us struggle more than others, or why we tend to get stuck, is because of comparison, is because sometimes we watch what other people are doing. Sometimes it's the news and the media that we consume. If we see everything in the world falling apart and we believe that the world's coming to an end, we don't believe in anybody, we're in constant fear. I think those negative emotions can definitely impact our mindset.
Okay.
And at that point, it can actually pull us away from developing a healthy mindset. So those are my thoughts.
So amazing. I love it. And I love how you didn't answer the question, but I wanted
What was the question again? Tell me again.
I'm joking. No, I'm joking. But this is the thing is I love like, okay, so the question was, and you did answer, I was just joking, but the question was, why is it hard for us to have control our thoughts and have a
Because
positive
we're
mindset?
human. That is the thing. We're
I know.
human.
I know. And I want to tell you something. Hang on one second. You talk, I think, and I love what you said, because you got into the other side of the coin, which is it's the glass half full instead of half empty, right? So you really illustrated the importance of not being able to control our thoughts. It is a blessing. I put down here, I've been doing this for a very long time, and no one has ever no one described as having a struggling with mindset as a blessing. So that's, for me, that
You're
was
welcome, Miguel. You're welcome.
drop the mic right now, and you didn't even cry. So look at that, eh? Oh my God. But I do want to tell you something. I think one of the reasons why we struggle with mindset, and listen, it's social media.
Yeah,
Dude,
absolutely.
I work for the Canadian Mental Health Association, and I was working with, I forget who it was, but we're doing a research. Anyways, they sent me out an assignment. I did a little bit of digging, trying to figure something out. But right when mental health took an increase was right around the time when social media like Facebook started going up as well. And so, and you even mentioned it in your explanation there, is we compare ourselves. So now we're all of a sudden we have these devices where we can see a window into somebody's life that is a filter, that is a trailer. And I don't know how many times have you seen a trailer and be like, man, I want to see this movie. And then you go see it and they're like, oh, I want my money back, right? it sucked. And so what's happening here is that you got all these people that are comparing themselves to somebody else's life, and they've put a filter on it. They've shown only the highlights. And so like, well, why can't I have my life looking like that? And so
Oh,
then all of a
100%.
sudden, all this negative self-talk, right? I'm no good. I suck. I'm not good at this. I will never be that good. And so then all of a sudden, that mindset, we are being trained to think less about ourselves.
That's such 100% true, because whenever we see content being, having developed content for the last few years, a lot of the things that you're highlighting, especially with influencers, they highlight the highlights, they're retouched, like they're the perfect moments in their lives. And what we do is we compare our worst moments of our lives to their best moments of their lives. Or we also compare our day 1 to their day 600, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's what social media does for us. It plays into our mind,
Well,
definitely.
I got somebody here on my Instagram, and they're saying that they have a friend. I'm not naming the friends, but they said that they're even, because of all of this, are considering drugs, right?
Oh my
Because
God. Like
yeah,
taking drugs?
yeah, like taking drugs. And
That's
so
so hard. It's so hard because I'm like, is it the influence of who they see? Is it to cope with the world? Is it to cope with friendships, to gain friendships? Like,
I don't know,
what?
like that. Yeah, I really, maybe if they can come back here on the chat here and just let us know how and why they're thinking of those things. But yeah, it's unfortunate that people are now resolving to these things just to feel normal, or that they belong to a group or a society, and start thinking about doing this stuff, right? Which is pretty.
Yeah, see, this is the hard thing. And that's why I put such a focus on experiencing the good with the bad. If you experience negative moments in your life, you have to appreciate those, because those help you to appreciate the good moments. I think we live in a world where all we want is to be happy. All we want is that self gratification, that instant. And when we don't have it, we think there's something wrong with us. When I'm a super positive person, 100% I'm a positive person,
Yeah.
but I get down on myself. There are times where I'm like comparing myself to other people's journey. There are times where I'm like, oh, Maria, why can't you do this? Why can't you be more self-disciplined? Why can't you do what you said you were going to do? And you have to give yourself grace. I've learned through this journey that you have to give yourself grace. At some point, you have to say it's okay to be human.
So here's the question then: how do you get over that? Like, I mean, so we have people that are thinking less about themselves. They're thinking that they're coming down on themselves. So you did something there about like self-talk, like, Maria, you got this, or whatever. Is there anything else you feel that we can do when people are starting to like really come down on themselves, and like, oh man, just I can't believe I didn't do that, or I can't believe I I'm and they're looking at their Instagram or their whatever, and why can't my life be like that? What is there anything that we can just do, snap our fingers and just bust out of it? Is there anything?
Okay, so this would be what I would suggest. If you're finding that a person is triggering and you're following someone that you're watching their journey and you get down on yourself, first things first, you're gonna unfollow them. Okay. Second thing, right in the moment, you're gonna go outside and get some fresh air. Do a 5-minute walk, a 2-minute walk, just go outside, be in the brisk weather, anything, but just get out of that current situation. Now, the third thing, this comes down to your thoughts. Feelings are normal, and feelings are like waves. Feelings last anywhere between 30 to 60 seconds. They're a chemical reaction in your body. And if you flow through them, you will get through them a lot faster, as opposed to feeling like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't think this way. I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't do anything like this. Then you're perpetuating that feeling, and you're creating sort of like an ongoing wave where you stay within those feelings for much longer than what you need to. So I actually not feel, I know that if you are following that person, you unfollow them, you get outside, you do a nice couple deep breaths, you accept your feelings for what they are. You could be feeling jealous. You could be feeling down on yourself. You could be feeling whatever negative emotion you're feeling, just accept it for what it is. It's an emotion. Feel it. Don't try to make excuses for it. Don't try to rationalize it. Don't try to tuck it away. Just feel it. Take those deep breaths and then continue with your day. Aside from that, and this is where I feel like sometimes people have this expectation that positive self-talk works right away. It doesn't work right away. It's something that you have to train yourself to do. But after you experience that emotion, one of the things that you can say, it could be anything that's meaningful to you. You can say, you know what? For instance, let's say if this is me and I'm going through these emotions, which I have in the past, I have unfollowed people. I have if they're friends, I've unfollowed them. If like they're just people that I follow on Instagram, I completely like have blocked them because I know myself. I don't want to just be creeping people. I get outside and then I feel my feelings and I'm kind towards myself. And I say, Maria, I know you're human. It's okay to feel this way and we will get through it together.
Wow.
And then I go through my day.
Wow. I never, yeah, there's a couple of people I'm just going, as you're talking about unfollowing, there's a couple of people I have on my Instagram that every time I look at them, I'm like, ugh. Anyways, so I
And
never.
this is the thing, if they're friends, rest assured that you can still love your friends. Like you can still have a friendship with them and have a meaningful connection with them. It just means that right now, maybe you're not quite ready to be online friends. Maybe you could just be, touch base over the phone, be person friends. But for now, just online friends is not in the stars for you.
Oh
Just for now.
my gosh. So, okay. So I'm just writing so many notes here right now. So you're talking about the difference between in-person friendships to online friendships, and there is a massive,
Yeah.
massive difference. Okay. Yeah, and you know what? When I see these people in person, I don't feel the same way that I feel when I see them online. So yeah, Maria, you are dropping bars right now. Oh my
A
goodness.
little therapy session together.
I know. I feel so much better.
Honestly, guy, I share this with you because these are things that I've done, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm human, I struggle. There's people that are so much further ahead in their journey than
Okay.
I am. And sometimes I do compare to that, right? And I have to remind myself that everybody, things happen for a reason. I know it's kind of cliche, right? But if
Yeah.
you look back at your life, the goals that you've achieved have the time that you've taken, have been the time that you've needed.
Mhm.
Everybody's timeline is different.
I love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's listen to what she's saying, right? So, if you are online and you are scrolling through, and all of a sudden you see a friend or someone that is just making you feel not good, Maria's talking about, she's saying to unfollow the person, right away. It doesn't, unfollowing them doesn't mean that you're not going to unfollow them in friendship. So, because online friendship and in-person friendships are two totally different things. And I absolutely love that. Then she says, get out, go get some fresh air, and then come back inside, take some deep breaths, and just accept the fact that those are feelings that you actually felt, and that you are human, and then you can just progress. I love that. I have a little bit of advice on this topic as well. Normally, when I go into a school, first thing I get the students to do is do an "I am awesome" sign. Session one. So I go into a school, we talk, we do our little. Sometimes we do dancing, we do a little competitions. I'm making fun of them, they're making fun of me for my long, beautiful hair, and we're just having conversations and all these different things. And at the end of the session, the last 5 minutes, I always get everybody to go back into their classrooms and do an "I am awesome" sign. And they can decorate it, they can put stickers, they can paint, and they can do all these different things. And then I want the part two to it is that after, I want them to put it by their bedside. And then what that happens is it's the last thing they see before they go to bed, and then it becomes the first thing they see when they wake up. And so waking up every morning just knowing that you're awesome, you wake up different. Your biological DNA and your neurological pathways, like, it starts to do something inside your body. And so when I first started MTC Life years ago, I connected with a couple of friends that, they're very successful. And at some point in the interview process, at some point in time, they always said, how you wake up in the morning will determine what kind of day you're going to have, and then what kind of day you're going to have will determine what kind of life you're going to live. And so if you wake up just positive and feeling good that you are awesome, and you come to that conclusion, it's going to start to change who you are, like, biologically, right? And so, and then if you are online and you come across those negative people, or not even negative, but just like a little bit of jealousy, yeah, unfollow them, get some fresh air, and come back and do some deep breathing. Love
Yeah.
it.
I love that, Miguel. It goes along the lines. You have to fill your own bucket. You can't wait for other people to do it for you. Fill it yourself. Do what Miguel is suggesting. And then when you do come to those situations where you're feeling triggered, unfollow, deep breath, and work through your emotions.
Wow. Wow. Have you ever heard of the story of Pylagrium? The Pygmalion Effect, Pygmalion theory.
No, I don't think so. Maybe tell me about it.
Oh, it's a long story. I may do it do on our second podcast, but
Okay.
it's hang on one second. It is. I'll tell you what the here, Maria, dance while we're waiting.
Honestly, my throat is dry, guys. Don't mind me. I am like, this is my water bottle.
People, she hasn't even showered yet. Like, how disgusting is that, right? Oh,
listen, that shows commitment.
Is that what it is?
That shows commitment.
Good thing we're doing this online, not in person. Oh my goodness. Right now, I wouldn't be able to contain the smell. I'd be like, oh, so Maria, what's next?
I'm like, you see me twitching in the back.
Pygmalion.
What is it?
Pygmalion Effect.
Oh, Pygmalion. I'm gonna look it up actually. Okay.
I'm telling you right now, you're gonna get lost in this rabbit hole. All those who are following me on Instagram right now, and all those who are on YouTube, you need to look up Pygmalion, which is Pygmalion, Pygmalion Effect. And let's talk about that next week when we do our pod. But I'm actually changing the entire face of MTC Life to reflect the Pygmalion Effect.
Okay.
Yeah, it is super, super powerful. I don't even know how I came across it. I think I was listening to recordings in the gym or whatever, and then some guy came on, he starts talking about it, and anyways, I'm just blown away by what he was saying. So I got home, I spent about 2 hours just researching all the social studies that were done behind it, the professors, the philosophers, when it, like, how far along it, and it was created since inception. Anyways, it is deep. Like, the rabbit hole goes down. And so
oh my gosh.
yeah,
okay, let's do it. I'm gonna look it up.
I'm telling you right now, you are just going to be blown away. So you have a week to study it out, and then we'll talk about it next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Pygmalion Effect.
Okay, it'll be pop quiz next week.
Yeah, it's going to change your life. I can promise you that right now.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Because we were talking about all this mindset, I wanted to know. Okay, tell me about a time, Miguel, where you really hit a dark spot in your mindset. Like, what were you feeling? What was it like? And how did you get out of it? Yes, we want to know. I want to know. I'm sure all your people there want to know.
What is this, confession time? Like, what are we doing right now?
I want to know because you know what? I'm like, it's so powerful to give firsthand, because sometimes people just see the happiness or like the upbeat guy there, Miguel. Miguel has to have some down days. Miguel has to have some days where he's feeling like, you know what, this freaking sucks. So tell me about one of those days.
Maria, what are you doing? I didn't read that question in the.
Listen, I sent it to you. I was like, I sure did, because I was like,
we were just going to talk about it. I didn't think you were going to ask me for a personal story.
Of course you have to share a personal story. You can't just, you can't share just all these like theories about mindset without giving your personal take on it or how it's helped you.
Okay. So
people want to know.
People don't want to know. People don't want to know about my dark days. So no. You're mean. Yes. All right. So for those, again, who are following on Instagram right now, yeah, if you want to go to the YouTube and at MTC Life, you'll see both Maria and I talking about it. And right now I'm about to confess. Apparently this is confession time. And I'm spilling everything, my dark days.
Okay, yes, I'm excited. Tell me
you're jazzed?
Listen, I'm excited to hear.
Okay, so listen, without naming any names, there was a couple of years ago, I brought in somebody in hopes that she was going to become partner in the business, right? I was getting way too busy. And there was no way that I could continue doing what I was doing. Anyways, our partnership hit a very, very rough spot. And so again, we were, company was being very, very successful, making over 100,000, and I just needed more people, right? Anyways, if you talk to her, it was my fault, and obviously if you talk to me, it was her fault. Whatever, it doesn't matter whose fault it was. It was just we just didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. So all of a sudden, I got a letter. I got served from her lawyer. And I don't, obviously I don't have it, I destroyed it, but from what I remember is that she was coming after me, like pretty much coming after MTC Life.
She was suing you?
uh Suing slash taking the company.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
Yeah.
Shoot. That's like, this is your baby. MTC Life is your baby. So
I know it's my, and so if you know anything about, if you listen, who's ever watching, if you know anything about building a business, whatever you create becomes your child. You protect it, you defend it, you nurse it, and when it's sick, whatever, when it's bleeding, you try and figure out a way to make it better. Literally, you treat your business like a child. And so yeah, the MTC Life is my baby. It's been with me since what, 12, 13 years now. And so anywho, for somebody to say, can you imagine somebody comes after you and says, we're taking your child,
oh
right?
my,
You, Maria.
I know. Listen, that is where like Fighter Maria comes. Like I'm
Right?
kind of crazy. I will admit I have my downfalls. I'm kind of crazy. So I'm interested to hear what you did.
I cried. I'm not even joking. I got the letter, and I went to the mail, got the letter. I opened it up in the car, and I'm looking at, my jaw dropped, and I'm like, is this the joke? Like, I honestly, I could not believe it. I walked in, my family's like, hey, how are you? I'm like, hey, how you doing? I need some time right now. So I went straight to my room. I closed the door. I threw myself on the bed, and
Oh
I
man.
started bawling my eyes out. It was one of those ugly cries, like boogers everywhere, mascara everywhere. I was not, I just got dumped and left on the side
Gosh.
on my prom night, right? Like, that's how bad it was. And so I'm like, there's no way she can't, like, this person can't take my company. Like, it's not happening. And so, yeah, I was bawling. I couldn't, and I had the letter, and I couldn't breathe. It was very, very dark. And so what did I do? And so then, anyways, I came down, I prepared a drink, not liquor, just water. I just want to make sure. And then I go back upstairs. I don't drink, people, I don't drink. And so then
It's okay. Just let the cat out of the bag. It's okay, Miguel. Like
I don't drink. I've never drank in my entire life. What are you going? What a cat? There's no bag. Listen, there's no cat and there's no bag. I've never drank in my entire life.
But
And
if it was a day you were gonna pick up drinking, it was gonna be that day.
it was that, my, like, I was gonna start talking Mexican with my tequila. Like, if there was a day, it was gonna be that day. I was gonna get borracho. But I came downstairs, grabbed, prepared like a drink, whatever. Anyways, I went back upstairs, and then something told me it's going to be okay. Like, it's all gonna work out. And so I mean, being a spiritual, having a faith and being a spiritual guy and going to church and doing all these different things, I knew what it was. And it was obviously the Lord, it was God telling me that it was going to be okay. But the words that I heard was from the prophet, or from the church leader, Gordon B. Hinckley, that at the end of the day, everything's going to work out. And so I just kept hearing that everything's going to work out, everything's going to work out. And so just, I got out of bed, I went on my knees, and I just started praying. And I just started begging and pleading that, first of all, to confirm that the voice that I heard was accurate, that it wasn't just, a figment of my imagination, or me telling myself, self-comforting myself. And so I was just, is this going to be, is this really, are you real? Is this going to be okay? And it was just like, yeah, everything's going to be fine. Just don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing, and I got your back. And so I literally, it was just, I went from like bawling boogers everywhere, mascara everywhere, to like one of those ugly cries, to feeling like if nothing had ever happened. It was like the craziest flip. It was the craziest switch. And so, yeah, I came back downstairs. My eyes were bloodshot red. Everybody was asking me if I was okay. I was like, yeah, I was fine. There's just something in my eye, and never thought about it afterwards. Just, and
So
it did.
and you never reverted back. You were like, you felt pretty confident that everything was going to be okay during the whole time.
It was, I forgot about it. I literally, I was expecting like a second letter, or just a court date, or just something, but nothing.
Nothing
and
was ever followed up.
nothing happened. I still don't know what happened afterwards, but yeah, like it was, literally I just forgot about it. And even till this day, like if you wouldn't have asked that question, I would not have remembered that day. So
Yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
that was I think in business, that's probably been one of my darkest days.
I think it goes just to kind of show you that you need some type of anchor. Like in your life, you need an anchor because life does get rough. You will have those patches in life where you will just ugly cry.
Yeah.
Whatever it is in your life, you're just gonna ugly cry. But if you have something that anchors you and you revert back to that, it can be powerful. It can give you that assurance that things are going to be okay. And
Yeah.
that regardless how rough it gets, you're gonna come out of it.
And I totally agree. I totally agree that, and I have a workshop actually that talks about anchor, and what is your anchor and where your and your truth creates your anchors. And so the question is, where do you get your truths, right? And so it's an entire 50-minute presentation that I do with the youth. But the other side to the story is the fact that I was able to hear that church leaders words in my head that at the end of the day, it all turns out, it all it's all going to be okay. I think that if you are like, if you surround yourself with positivity, the mind creates these memory banks, right? That it gets filled in there and whatever. And just, you may not remember it when you need, when you want to remember it, but you'll always remember it when you definitely need it. And then you just, because if I wasn't living my life in the sense of listening to leaders, listening to motivational workshops, reading my books, doing all these different things, I still probably would have been in bed crying, right? And so it was the fact that I had these memory banks where God can just say, hey, remember this, like I got you. And so then, which forced me to snap out of it, go on my knees and communicate with him and be like, okay, is this real? And he was like, yeah, it's real. Like I got your back, right? And so if we are surrounding ourselves with just nothing but negativity, whether it's social media, whether it's our friends, Les Brown talks about it all the time. Birds of a feather flock together. You might be a good person, but if you start hanging around people who are just absolutely negative all the time, you're filling your memory banks with just negativity and not positive things. And so when the time comes and you need to pull something from your bank, right? It's a positive cash flow or positive memory bank, right? And so when it's time to make a withdrawal, if you don't have anything there, you're going to be zero balance, right? And so when it comes to positivity, so yeah, I totally think that creating your anchor from truths and where you're getting your truths, it does pay off towards the end.
So one quote that came to mind when I was recently teaching a course on self-reliance, and one of the participants shared this, which I thought was golden, and I've never heard of it. I wrote it down as you were saying, but she said, "Good inspiration comes from good information." And I'm like, how true is that? It's exactly what you were saying, right? How can we make those withdrawals if everything that we have in our mind is negative? Then all we're going to be able to remember is negative things.
Absolutely.
So importance of making sure that bucket is full of positivity or like good information, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, like, yeah, we got a couple of here. Thank you guys so much on Instagram. They're saying, who is this girl? Why is her hair up like that? No, I'm joking. Nobody said that.
I like, listen, this is I went to the laundromat, had 10 minutes to get ready. And I'm like,
yeah, I know. I had the same problem. I have the same problem.
I know we're like twinning right now. So I don't know what you're talking about. We both did the shower. I'm just kidding.
Not the same one, but not the. So for those who don't know that comment, what ends up happening is I couldn't go to the gym in the morning. So I normally wake up between 3 and 4. Could not make it this morning, and I had to go drop off the kids at school. And then from there, I went to the gym and I hit the sauna, and then I rushed right into the office, into the studio. And I'm like, anyways, just a little bit sweaty. So as soon as this is done, I am taking a nice warm shower, bubble bath. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maria, it was such a pleasure connecting with you today. You are like the bomb, diggity bomb. I love you so much. And I love the fact that you chose mindset. I think it was a great first topic for the year. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially going to a new year, right? Like, I think the most powerful thing that we can all do is just to truly realize our true potential, and that our potential comes from our thoughts. And there's nothing more fulfilling that I find is to helping others to see the good in themselves. So to whoever's listening out there, honestly, you're amazing. You're worth it. Think of yourself like a $20 bill. Even if that bill was crumbled up, in the garbage, stepped on, is still worth $20. So regardless of where you are in life, you're still worth it. You're still amazing, and your worth is not attached to anything, not to your parenting, not to a specific weight, not to a specific role or career. Like, your worth is there no matter what. So if you get anything out of this podcast, that's what I want you to get, that you are worthy because you're you.
Wow.
I get so fired up when I think about that, because I just want everybody to know. I feel like if we truly knew our worth, some of the struggles that we have would not be there. We would treat everybody a little kinder. We'd be a little nicer. We would just have a smile on our face, right?
Yeah.
So I just want everybody to know that.
Awesome.
I want you to know that, Miguel. You are.
I'm worth it. I'm worth $20. Did you hear that, people? Maria just told me I'm only worth $20. Oh yeah, that's what she said. You all heard it. You all heard it.
All right, let's change that to the biggest bill you can get. I don't know what's the biggest, like 100? I don't think there's like 1,000.
I think it's
1,000. Okay, 1,000.
Correct me if I'm wrong, people. I think it's 1,000.
Yeah. But remember, regardless of how crumpled up it is, it's still worth 20,000. It's not like you go to the bank and the bank says, sorry, it's folded, it's crumpled. Like, no, the bank will still take it. So just remember that.
Dang. So I was going to ask you one question. I think you hit it, is like, if there's one last thing that you want people to remember from today, what's it going to be?
That your worth comes because you're you. Wow. It comes from just you being you. Whatever your name is, it comes from you, your name, you being unique. There's nobody else like you. That is one thing that I want you to know.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. And my last message before signing out is just remember who you are, which is pretty much similar. When I was 16, I was going through a rough patch, and those words really brought me out of it. Just remember who you are. And so # Lion King. But
I know, I was like, I can like hear it in my mind. But hey, he goes back, right? So remember who you are.
I'm telling you, one of these podcasts, I'm gonna explain that whole part of my life when I was 16. But yeah, that movie just really got me out of a dark place. But anyways, yeah, remember who you are, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, you've been listening to the VS Group, and from vision to success.
From vision to success.
Why are you laughing? I don't understand. Every time I say VS Group, why are you laughing? I don't understand.
I'm not laughing. It's a nervous tick. Oh my gosh.
It's a nervous tick. Got it. It's a nervous tick from so from vision, which is the first step to success, whatever success looks for you. And then that's your end goal, right? So from vision to success, VS Group. Love you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining in on Instagram, on YouTube. You guys are the bomb diggity bomb. My name is Coach Martinez, and this is
Maria Bunt.
Oh, wait, before we sign off, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, what are your
my Instagram? My handle is Maria, MARI_BUNT.
Okay. So we're gonna take this. It's we've been filming for about, I don't know how long, whatever it is. We're gonna chop it up, but when we push it through, we're gonna put Maria's contact information below, and you have obviously mine. People, contact us if you need anything, and see you at the top.
Yeah.
Peace. Later.